Jensen Huang, the president and CEO of NVIDIA Corporation, he made a very important statement that all traders and investors must know to make more money in 2026 and beyond. Jensen Huang mentioned in the World Economic Talk that AI is essentially a five-layer cake.
When you think about AI, you think about the AI models. But it's really important to understand industrially, AI is actually essentially a five-layer cake. At the bottom is energy. Energy is the first layer. The second layer is the layer that I live in. It's chips and computing infrastructure. The next layer above it is the cloud infrastructure, the cloud services. The layer above that is the AI models. This is where most people think AI is. But don't forget that in order for those models to happen, you have to have all of the layers underneath it. But the most important layer, and this is the layer that's happening right now, that the layer above it, which is ultimately the layer that we all need to succeed, the application layer above that.
All right, so here is the five-layer cake, and additionally of the applications healthcare. If you look at on the top, we have the energy layer of the GE and CCJ. So the stock GEV is one of the energy stock that it will go to the upside in the long term. So right here, and as you guys can see on the overview chart, it has a good upright in the bullish momentum. So currently we are at the 830 USD dollar, but the forecast is saying that it will bump up to 1,087 USD dollar. So here's the next energy stock, which is the CCJ, and the overview, it looks very promising that it has been risen slowly but surely towards to the upside from 2025 in March up to 121 USD dollar as recent of February 2026. And the forecast is saying that it will rise up higher of 171 USD dollar. So now let's move on to the second layer, the chips. So obviously we have here the NVIDIA, the TSMC, and AMD. The NVIDIA NVDA, so currently it is at the level of 189 USD dollar, and is, as you guys can see on the overview, it has been risen steadily. It came back down for a short term and then it bumped back up. At the forecast, it is saying that it will move up higher to 352 USD dollar. So here's the next chip stock. The next chip stock is the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing TSM. So the overview, it tells us that it has also a steady move up to the bullish trend. It went back down for a short term, back down to 151 and moved up higher up until 367 USD dollar. If we look at the forecast is saying that it can move to 450 USD dollar. And here we go, the Advanced Micro Devices AMD. So currently it is at the 200 USD dollar. And as you guys can see on the weekly time frame, it was a little bit rough in the past years, but it has been broken from the higher high right here back in 2024, and it is trying to hold steadily to $210, but right now it's a little bit down below. So for the forecast, it is saying that it wants to go to 345 USD dollar. All right, so now let's move on to the third layer. It's the cloud infrastructure. So we have the Microsoft, Amazon, and the CoreWeave. And now we have the Microsoft Corporation MSFT. So currently it is sitting at 397 USD dollar. The forecast is saying that it will want to go to 700 USD dollar. So this is another promising stock that you should invest. So we have here the Microsoft Corporation MSFT. Currently, it is sitting at 400 USD dollar, but the forecast is saying that it will bump to 700 USD dollar, which looks very promising, and you should invest. So the next stock is the Amazon AMZN. So currently, it is sitting at 210 USD dollar, and the forecast is saying that it wants to go up to 340 USD dollar. And the next one, we have the CoreWeave Class A common stock. which is the ticker CRWV. And currently it is sitting at 90 USD dollar. And this is still a young company and it did release in 2025. So I highly recommend to be careful of it because it could be very volatile. And I really don't know whether it can be controlled. So the forecast is saying that it can jump to 180 USD dollar. All right, so now let's move to the fourth layer, which is the AI model. So we have Google and Meta. So for Google, the ticker GOOGL. So the current stock is at 314 USD dollar, and the forecast is saying that it wants to move up to 420 USD dollar. And the Meta platforms META, it is sitting at 655 USD dollar, and the forecast is saying that it wants to jump to $1,144. And now let's move on to the applications. And now let's move on to the fifth layer, applications in finance. So we have Palantir and Oracle Financial. So for Palantir Technologies, the ticker is PLTR. So currently it is sitting at 135 USD dollar. And the forecast is saying that it wants to bump to 260 USD dollar. But right now, as I can see about the analyst rating, it is mixed for right now, but I would not trust and rely on it too much on it. So the next one, we have the ticker OFSS. So currently it is sitting at 6,642 USD dollar or 6.642. So for right now, I can't find the forecast, but I can analyze this one for you very quickly. If I go back to the chart, so it tells me already that it wants to go into the bearish momentum. So the forecast can go back to 13,000. Up higher, it's very unknown for me since I don't have any data to read the forecast. So basically, we have a beautiful support level, and we also have a head and shoulder pattern. A head and shoulder pattern is a reversal pattern. So right now, we did break through the support level, which is also to be called the neckline. And I assume that it wants to retest the neckline, the resistance level for right now. And once it holds the resistance level, it may go back further down to the next resistance support level. Okay, to the next support level. So right here, it is unknown whether it wants to go up higher. So please do your own diligent analysis and research. And last but not least, the sixth layer of the cake, which Jensen Huang didn't really mention about it, but he mentioned about the healthcare. So we have two tickers, which is the ISRG and the LLY. So the ISRG, currently it is sitting at 504 USD dollar. And the forecast is saying that it wants to go up higher to 750 USD dollar. And for the next ticker LLY, so currently it is at 1,009 USD dollar. And the forecast is saying that it wants to go to higher up to $1,500. All right, guys, so this is an overall summary of the five-layer cake that Jensen Huang mentioned about it. And I highly recommend to do some more diligent research and let's see whether some of the stocks will benefit for your portfolio. And for the traders, it might be also a good way to analyze technical and not only fundamental. Please comment down below which of the five layers do you like the most? Have you ever heard about the five layers? And I'm happy to read all of your messages, all of your comments. And as always, you execute, you gain, you succeed. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.